Hello everybody, how's it going today? Glowplasma here about Märchen Crown Chapter number 32. This chapter is titled Flama, and oh my gosh, do we have a very funny chapter to talk about. Oh my gosh, Märchen Crown is one of these series that I've talked about many times on the channel. It's got a roller coaster to it, it goes to a very low, then to a really high, which normally is really funny, sort of out of place stuff, which this chapter absolutely nails the execution of. Then it goes down a little bit more, up a little bit more, down again, and the last arc I thought was a very big down point for the overall story of Märchen Crown. I really didn't like anything about the Volca arc. I didn't think it had much meaning to it. I mean, the last chapter I thought was sort of okay, as we pretty much saw Volca standing up to everybody in her town, being like, hey, selling people isn't okay. And yeah, that's a good message, one that I can personally agree with. Don't sell people, But the rest of that arc was just not really it. And wow, we sort of just shift gears entirely this chapter, moving into a sort of totally new part of the story, and whether or not the previous arc of the whole hey, Little Red Riding Hood, we're going to see if that comes to a head and if it all works out. But you know what, maybe it doesn't. We're just gonna have to wait and see about all of that, right? But this is a great chapter of Märchen Crown, and one that I just want to talk about because I'm going to start laughing my ass off here in a few minutes, and I just can't wait for it to happen, you know what I'm saying? We start off this chapter of Märchen Crown with a map of the Märchen Crown world, which we see is just this one lone island here, with the city of Pansina to the north, or not the city, but the country of Pansina to the north, and the Kingdom of Flama to the south. And we sort of just see how the whole island is here. There's a few other smaller islands off the coast of Pansina to the north, and we see there's a rather large mountain range on the western side of Pansina, and also towards the southern tip of Flama as well, right? As we pretty much understand that this is called the Island of Grampides. This large island is the southeastern part of a main continent, and it was home to two nations separated by an expansive forest. Of course, as we know, Pansina to the north and the Kingdom of Flama to the south. And we sort of see a few images here of hey, Michael, Rapunzel, and Lafina here, they're all in Pansina. And we also see a dog who is here as well, and this took me so long to figure out. And we see oh, they're wearing a little red coat thing. Oh, this is Volca. I guess she's just a dog now, who really knows, right? And of course, to the south, we see two images here. And we see Kreuz and, of course, Prince Guillame here. And wow, we haven't seen them since chapter number 6 or something like that. With its surrounding mountain ranges providing natural fortification, its rich and fertile lands and port to the east, further enriching the culture through trade, Pansina was a land of plenty. In stark contrast, Flama's land was unsuited for agriculture, and the complex ocean currents that encircled the land made it difficult for trade to blossom. The people of Flama, who suffered in poverty, would often rise in rebellion, eventually leading to a kingdom to adopt a militaristic approach in order to suppress the uprisings and rule with an iron fist. A nation of the strong, ruled by the strong. However, their bravery was that of starving beasts. That is the country known as Flama. And such was the image, especially for the Innenbach royal family, known for their greed and debauchery. As we understand, we are currently in the Kingdom of Flama and the city of Vrafeld. As we look around, and it's this pretty much fortified, walled city here. I've never watched Attack on Titan, but from what I know, all of those cities are in walls, so maybe imagine that, But we see there's this big castle here in the middle, flying all of these various flags, and as we look in, we see Prince Guillame here, and we see that, he is stark naked. As he's sort of laughing a little bit, he's like, ha ha ha, you're more vocal than usual today. Were you craving me that badly? Kreuz? As he stands on a balcony, like I said, stark naked, and he looks out off this balcony to land of Flama and some mountain ranges in the distance where there is the sun in the sky. It sort of looks blocked by the moon, or I think that's actually just the moon in a crescent shape. Yeah, it's obviously not there's stars out. I'm keeping that in because it shows just how much of an idiot I am at some points, but Guillame looks around, and behind him is Kreuz, who is sitting on a bunch of pillows, or he's sort of leaning up against them, in this bed. And it's a very big, majestic bed, and Cruz is sort of just sitting here, scars covering his body. He is also starkly naked. And Cruz looks up, of course, missing an arm that Michael severed from him in their battle so long ago. And Cruz is just saying, "Yes, Your Highness." As Prince Guillame walks closer and "Oh, women these days are all so loose. Nothing but filthy sows scheming to curry favor with me as the crown prince. Rather than waste my time lying with the likes of them, I prefer a firm, taut body, such as yours." As he walks up onto the bed, again, starkly naked, and crawls up it, getting right into Cruz's face. And the way the Guillame does this is he just goes in the most direct direction, his body is leaning right over Cruz's pretty much. Again, they're both naked. And he sort of reaches out his arm and starts to caress Cruz's stump. I'm sorry, I can't. Oh, I knew it was gonna be this way in a second. Okay. Oh, let's regain composure. Okay, so Guillame starts caressing Cruz's severed arm here, his stump, as he just starts to say, "You've become even lovelier with the loss of your arm. Perfectly imperfect. How beautiful." As Cruz sort of looks down to him, "Prince Guillame," as the prince just starts talking, "that reminds me. Have you located the girl?" And Cruz is "No, not yet." Oh my gosh. As Prince Guillame just says, "My goodness, it's already been half a year. That just won't do." As he starts to run his hand across Cruz's shoulders and all of that, and eventually goes down, pulling his arm back to his stump, where Prince Guillame leans down and bites Cruz's stump here in the moment. And it's a very sensitive part of his body. He's "Oh, no, what is that?" It's so weird. We see that Prince Guillame sort of leans back a little bit, bite mark that's bloodied around Hero Cruz's stump, and we even see his saliva and spit forming a trail back to his mouth. As the prince just says, "Listen, that girl will absolutely be mine. Do you understand? And when she is, I'll have my way with her until she forgets all about her hideous monster of a little boyfriend." As he just stands up and wipes away the blood from around his mouth, more smearing it up towards the top of the left side of his lip pretty much. As he then leans down and starts caressing Cruz's face, as Prince Guillame just says, "If you can do this for me, I'll reward you handsomely. Fulfill your duty, Cruz. Do it for us." And Cruz just looks into the very demented eyes of the prince as he just says, "Yes, Your Highness." As we then cut away to Cruz, the one-armed knight, now just walking through the woods, trampling through all manner of vines and just shrubbery, and he comes up to a massive wall of thorns that slither and don't let him pass into the forest, the dividing forest that splits the two nations. And Cruz is just thinking, well, okay, whenever I try to head north, these brambles form a wall to block my way. Is it possible? Could those two have really made it out of this forest when these vines are so adamantly denying passage? Or perhaps they only permit the cursed to pass through. Intriguing. As he notices a few vines off to the side, not really conforming to the total big vine wall that's blocking Cruz's path, and he notices that they're sort of buried into the ground, and he notices a droplet of blood, and he sort of thinks oh, are the vines trying to absorb it? And he reaches over with his one good hand and grabs his sword and starts pulling it out, of course, to start fighting all of this. He's all right, how far did those two go? Just what are they? And whose blood? As Cruz sort of stops in his tracks, as he hears a sniffling, a crying, a sobbing. And he's very caught off guard, and he reaches over, and there's this girl sitting here, very exposed dress, and Cruz grabs his sword, and honestly, one of the funniest panels of this chapter, and that's saying a lot, because there are a lot of them. Cruz is very what is going on here, draws his sword, as this girl is here sobbing, and she's like, oh, who's there? Is someone there? An animal? No, this feels different. The sound of your breathing. You're a human, aren't you? As Cruz walks up, of course, sword at the ready, as he looks at this girl, and we see that she is here wearing this very much sort of Venus goddess style dress, and also her eyes are bound, not able to see, covered by a cloth. Very short hair and a bloodied foot, spilling blood everywhere. As the girl just says, oh, if you're a human, does that mean that you've come after me? As Cruz just thinks, her build and her silver hair are the same. Could it be her? Is this the same girl? Of course, thinking this is Rapunzel. Cruz, I'm going to tell you right now, this isn't Rapunzel, right? And hey, that's where we end this chapter of Märchen Crown, chapter number 32, as we get introduced to this character who, I'm going to spoil it now, we'll sort of learn is the sort of Sleeping Beauty type character. We'll get more into that next chapter, but I have the power of knowing that chapter number 32 has already been out for a few weeks, so hey, I get that advantage there, right? But really, the part of this chapter that's just so funny to me is legitimately the scene that we have between the Crown Prince, of course, Guillame, and Cruz here in the moment, as they obviously have some sort of relationship and I mean, they're just two naked guys in a room. It's normal. We all go through this experience in life, as just the sort of scene of almost the sexual tension that's not sexual tension at all that happens in this chapter is just absolutely hilarious. How demented is the prince, and Cruz is following his every order. Oh my gosh, it's just so funny, and that's why I think this chapter of Märchen Crown is going to be one that lives in my memory, is not because it's a good chapter, but because it is so off the walls, crazy weird, and also a little bit intriguing at the very end that hey, I can't help but sit here and be yeah, you know what, I don't want to not read the next chapter, But that's really all I gotta say about Märchen Crown. Good, really funny and weird chapter, but yeah, I've covered every single chapter of Märchen Crown. If you want to check out all of those videos, you can find them in the description box of this video, along with the end card of this video as well. I covered plenty of other anime and manga-related series on my YouTube channel as well at Glowplasma. Go check out all of the things there. And also, if you want to hear these videos on the go, check out Glowplasma Talks on podcasting platforms. You can find every single video I've released from 2026 onwards in an audio format there. So yeah, hope you guys are enjoying Märchen Crown videos. I'll be caught up at some point, and with all that being said, I will catch you guys next time for Märchen Crown chapter number 33. This was chapter number 32 titled Flama, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Brother, what was this chapter again? I think legitimately pages 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, those 6 pages may be some of the funniest things I've ever read in a manga in my life. Gosh, that was hilarious just going into the chapter blind. Holy, this would be Glowplasma signing out. Yeah, we just gotta be done after this one.